Hey guys, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina. Welcome to the Sunday night live stream show. Tonight we've got special guests Amy and Tommy Verdensky from Old Salts Fishing Club in studio with us tonight, talking King of the Beach, Old Salts, and our Fishing for Hope event, which is coming up here Saturday, November 22nd. And these guys are helping us expand that event significantly this year because now you're going to be able to donate food at the Old Salts King of the Beach tournament this upcoming weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. And then over there at the Bay Pines Pro Marine location between King of the Beach and our Saturday, November 22nd event. Or you can come see us Saturday, November 22nd, or in addition to, at that North Rome Avenue holiday tent. So excited for Fishing for Hope this year.
And I got to say about that event, if you've never been to it, it's worth taking a trip over to Tampa to really see the impact that really makes. People don't realize that, people can come in, they can shop, it's not like they're just getting a basket of stuff.
Yeah, and I've been involved with Fishing for Hope now for, 5 years. And the first couple times, I didn't even really realize it myself. But now, each year, I try to make a point to kind of walk to the other side of the tent at some point just to take a look. And it's always very eye-opening, mind-boggling, if you will, just the size and breadth of that tent, how much food is in there. And it's so crazy because it seems like this is going to last forever. All this food, it's piled up. I think last year we had over 30,000 pounds of food collected in one day. And it wasn't a couple days later they were out of food. Completely out of food.
And I think the need is going to be greater this fall than it has been in a while.
Yeah, they've been talking recently on the news that Metropolitan Ministries' food supply is already significantly depleted because of everything that's going on. So now they need a lot of food donated so they can make it through this Thanksgiving holiday. So Fishing for Hope is a big event we do every year, and this year it's even bigger thanks to Amy and Tommy and our friends at Old Salts, and of course Pro Marine over there in Bay Pines as well. So big shout out to everybody for being a part of that. But as always, we'd like to start the show by talking about a few things here, going over the fish that we've been catching this week. We'll dive into the weather real quickly, some announcements, and then we're going to get into King of the Beach and all things Old Salts. So first things first, want to make sure we give a shout out to our friends over at Gator Jim's Tackle. Remember, 3301 Pinellas Point Drive South in St. Pete. If you haven't stopped by to see our friends at Gator Jim's Tackle, make sure you do so. An incredible selection, killer deals, great people, stuffed to the gills. It is a really cool place. I love Gator Jim's.
Yes.
They do a great job now.
Yeah.
They really do.
It is amazing how much tackle they fit into that shop.
I know.
It's nuts. And then they have shipping containers outside too, stuffed. So it's an incredible place, worth a visit if you haven't stopped by. And make sure you tell them your friends at Hubbard's Marina sent you. If you bring a young angler with you, you get a free gift for the young angler. So stop by and say hello. Also want to make sure we give a shout out to all of our supporters out there who are watching the show, tuning in. Remember, it's only $4.99 a month. You get access to the private after show, access to the private group, and plenty of discounts. We did give away the calendars for free this week in the supporters group, and we got lots more coming up. Plus, the supporters Christmas party is coming up too, and we have that supporters fishing trip that we're planning as well. So check it out. And this week, we're going to be giving away a 39-hour fishing trip in the supporters group for Tuesday's 39-hour trip. This Tuesday, beautiful weather, backside of a front, right on a full moon. We've only got 19 people going, so crazy light.
I would jump on, but
you don't have anything. You don't have anything going on this week, Amy. You can go fishing.
Yeah. Wouldn't be your first time out there.
Tommy can handle it.
That's right. There we go.
Good.
It's a good trip.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, that's for sure. So great opportunity this week to join. Also want to give a shout out to all those who are sending stars on Facebook. We had Stephen Batchelor with a big 500, Nick Nieves with a big 1,000. Appreciate you, buddy. Also Larry White, and we had Nick Nieves with a bunch of other stars as well. Appreciate you, buddy. And then on YouTube, we had a couple super chats. We had SPJ is the way with a 20. Appreciate you. Sam Lang with 10. Thank you. Scott Flynn, Adam Franklin, Chris Molina, Chris Pernack, and Richard Blazak. Appreciate you all with the super chats on YouTube as well. With that, let's get into the photos and see what we've been catching. All right, so this past week inshore, the flounder bite has been picking up. Remember, flounder are closed with a spawn-in season protection. I think it's twice this week I've had to stop people from trying to fillet flounder on the dock. Can't do that. Yep. Got to get out of here.
They're on the move, though.
There's a lot of flounder around, and they're biting well for sure. But flounder are closed until the end of November, so just keep that in mind. But quite a few of them being caught around the area. Sandy structure around virtually any, sandy bottom around virtually any structure lately has been netting a lot of flounder. That north side of Johns Pass Bridge, that sandy area around the embankments, been hot for the old flounder. Lots of Jack Crevalle moving through the pass, especially early morning around sunrise. They seem to be flooding Johns Pass pretty predictably. Lots of mackerel around. Our friends over at Salt Strong showing off plenty of mackerel. Redfish have been nuts lately. Lots of concentrations of redfish. A lot of them starting to move through the pass. We should see those concentrations or schools moving out there sometime soon as well. Our buddy Donald with some nice redfish, some good ones from our friends at Salt Strong all over the Tampa Bay area. Redfishing has been going solidly. Some nice catch and release shark action out on the beaches still, and a few snooks still around the pass, but most of those fish have moved off the beach and out of the pass, especially with this big front.
Big push right now.
Yeah, they're going back into the bay.
They are. They're moving in. For sure.
Rivers, bayous, even had some reports of some of those inland ponds starting to hold the snook again.
Wow,
so
it's early for that.
Exciting. It's good times for sure. Lots of good opportunities. Lots of people catching them as they are on the move. But our buddy Scott still sent me a picture of a beach snook this week. Scott Sadorf cannot be stopped. He's able to find them, that's for sure. So some pretty nice fish out on the beach for Scott, but I don't recommend it for us average anglers. I would stick up into the bay. They're definitely moving back more and more into the upper bay and back bay waters. Triple tails starting to tick up. You got the crab traps around.
Traps are out there, you know. I mean, that's part of it. So
our buddy Luke and Joe from Salt Strong bouncing between those crab traps, ended up getting lucky on some nice triple tail. We're starting to see more and more photos of them, so that's exciting. Trout action definitely going well around the area. Water temperatures dropping off. Those trout should just get more and more excited. So good times inshore.
Nice.
This is the time.
This is it.
The fronts start moving. Like I said, all those fish start, moving and back inside, and it's on fire.
Yeah, sheep's head are starting to pick up too, so that's exciting. You never know what you might run into around those structures. Now, near shore, we are definitely seeing some good action near shore. Things are going well for us. Definitely seeing some of these flounder even near shore as well, but just keep in mind, unfortunately, can't keep them. But the hogfishing's been going well. It's been a little hit and miss, frustratingly so. We had a 10-hour that caught 23 keeper hogfish. We had a 10-hour that caught 17 keeper hogfish. I've had some 10 hours with 6, 8, 9 hogfish. Today was a little bit of a struggle. Unfortunately, didn't get a keeper's hogfish today. Got a lot of shorts, but no keepers today. Ended up putting together a decent catch, but it was towards the second half of the day. The early day bite was just tough, and I think
that from a lot of people.
Yeah. That's good to hear. But I think that might have something to do with that full moon and that cold front bearing down on us, that full moon really getting thick. I mean, that moon was up and bright last night. Yeah. So a lot of times you get a really bright moon, a cloudless night like we had last night. Those fish were able to feed all through. Basically, moonrise was right around midnight. So you had from midnight all the way till 6, 7, 8 a.m., those fish could feed actively. So by mid-morning, when everybody got out there and started fishing 8, 9 a.m., but it was a little tough.
Slow,
yeah, and it picked up again this afternoon, but unfortunately it was time to head in. But we have been seeing some nice hogfish. That one right there is a fat one. Beautiful near-shore hogfish. Some good opportunities to get out there and capture them for sure. So good bites. You just got to get lucky with the the day of their feeding, you know. Got to get out there and put a bait in the water and see if they cooperate.
There's no bait in the water, you can't get them, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, hogfish are the great equalizer, man. You could be doing everything right, and they just won't cooperate. Or someone next to you will be catching them, and they're using squid cubes and 60-pound test and a 6/0 circle hook. And you've got 25, 30-pound test, a 2 or 3/0 hook, a nice live shrimp. You're doing everything right, and you just can't buy a bite. You know how it is.
That's how it goes, right?
Fishing.
Yeah.
Some good mackerel action. Mackerel are super thick around the area. We're seeing some nice kingfish as well. Some good catch and release gag grouper. This is a kingfish from our 5-hour half day, just trolling plugs up and down the beach. You know what's crazy is our buddy Brian Harris, the guy who catches all our bait at Hubbard's Marina. He was in another kingfish tournament. Did not decide to get in the mackerel division, and they got a what they thought was a small kingfish, like 8.5, almost 9 pounds. I think he said it was 9 pounds.
Wow!
And it was a mackerel.
That's a huge mackerel.
That is
right.
It's got to be record.
I know. I asked what the state record was. Apparently, it's up over double digits.
Really?
Yeah, I was surprised by that as well. But it was
tough because like this time of year, especially, we do see a lot of that juvenile kingfish that. You know, you got to really.
Apparently, they brought it to the weigh-in, and there was a conversation/argument, and it was deemed a mackerel. But yeah, you really have to pay attention to that lateral line, and look for the old dip. And you can kind of see it in this kingfish. Josh, can we zoom in a little bit there? So you see the lateral line takes that real hard dip. That is a kingfish, whereas a mackerel will have a real straight line. And some people talk about the dots, but on a juvenile kingfish, they're dotted up too.
They are.
The shape of their fin too is slightly rounded versus pointed.
The top.
Pointed, the top one, yep.
Whereas a mackerel is going to be more pointed.
Yep.
I got you.
Yeah. But it's, like I said,
it's
something you don't want.
But the dip's the easiest way.
Definitely the indicator.
But the lines or the dots will mess you up if you just look for the dots, because those juvenile kingfish, they got the dots.
Yep.
Some nice mangrove snapper. We did have a almost 10-pound dog snapper come in on the 39-hour trip this morning. That was a pretty solid fish.
That's cool.
With some nice mutton snapper in the mix. We've had some fat red grouper lately. Red grouper action's been pretty steady for us. Some nice big trigger fish too. So things are going well. It just got to get the weather right for it. That's been the biggest challenge.
So I heard the mango light was on fire, like you said last night, and then again this afternoon was really good. That like 100 to 120 foot stuff was on fire. Yellowtail fired up too in the same areas. And
yeah, the 39-hour came in. They did really well on mangroves and yellowtails. The moon rise brought with it really good bites, but as soon as that moon set, it was a little bit of a tough rest of the night, and ended up kind of just picking through them. But then once the sun came back up, they ended up kind of steadily picking through the end of the day, and then right closer to dusk, the moon popped up again, and it was a really good sundowner. So cool to see. And it was that they got on this spot where they were catching a bunch of muttons. They caught that big dog snapper, and they had a couple big blotches on the bottom machine and a couple big bites and solid runs and break-offs. And Captain Will was pretty confident they were some nice cubera in the mix there. So exciting time. This is that time of year we see the big cuberas. August, September, early October. Around those full moons, a lot of times that's when we see them.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to see someone catch one.
Yeah, and a lot of people mistake them for Goliath, which I mean, you got to really check out the bait one if you get a bag up.
Yeah, because they'll have those telltale punctures.
Those fang punctures in there.
Yeah, it'll give it away, that's for sure. It's not crushed like a Goliath would do it, you know. That's awesome. So exciting times for sure. Also, we're going to be giving away free trips tonight. So if you want a chance to win some free trips, make sure you comment on the Hubbard's Marina YouTube stream. All you have to do is comment one time on our YouTube live stream. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Instagram, TikTok, anything like that, we always appreciate the comments, the likes. But you do have to be watching on YouTube and comment one time in order to be entered to win. Josh is dropping the YouTube link there into the Facebook chat if you want to switch over. All right, with that, Want to make sure we talk about our announcements. One of the most important announcements we already went over, which was the Fishing for Hope event coming up. Again, that's Saturday, November 22nd, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., North Rome Avenue, the holiday tent of Metropolitan Ministries. But you can donate. Instead of going to Tampa November 22nd, you can come to King of the Beach and bring your canned food or whatever else you might be donating. I don't recommend frozen turkeys to King of the Beach event. But you can bring your frozen turkeys November 22nd to North Rome Avenue. But to King of the Beach, the stuffing boxes, the canned food, all that good stuff, the dry goods, if you will. And we got a lot of tournament events here. You guys want to talk a little bit about King of the Beach?
Well, first, we are going to give raffle tickets out for people who bring food in. So bring them, because then you might win something else. So
help us sink the boat.
That's right.
Yeah, so the boat will be there from Pro Marine.
Yep.
We'll have a big banner on it. We'll have all the barrels out front, and our goal is to fill those barrels and sink the boat. And so if you bring a donated good for the Fishing for Hope event to drop in the barrels, you're going to get a raffle ticket.
That's correct.
Nice. Is there some threshold? Like, do they have to bring like 17 bags of food? What are we requiring?
No, I mean, just show
respectable amounts.
Respectful.
Amounts. Don't show up with a can of beans, folks.
Yeah,
you gotta bring a bag of beans.
Yes.
Our girls that run the raffle are pretty tight.
Okay.
So,
they're gonna judge.
Just help out,
Reasonable donation.
At least 4 or 5 products.
And we'll
also
little bag.
We'll have QR codes around the entire event as well that you can donate to, and
nice.
We will purchase food as well and bring it out that day. So
there's
some other things available.
So if you forget your can of food, you can donate through the QR code.
Yeah.
And then Old Salts will bring out the food on the day of the event.
So
nice.
It's it's a big thing. We've been involved too for a long time, and it's, it's good to be back and be stronger than I was before. It's just seeing a need this year is also
100%.
Yeah.
So
it's good to have you guys back on the team.
Yeah, and Metro's a great organization. Like I said, and if you've never been out there, I mean, I can't tell you how many of our guys have actually come out on that Saturday and just are amazed by what they absolutely see.
Yeah,
just
it's
like
beautiful. Beautiful.
You walk around the tent and you see behind it too. Like you're talking about the frozen turkey. People don't realize how many semis are stacked up out back that are reloading. And that's huge.
Yeah, going out and collecting stuff.
Yeah.
So Josh is scrolling through the website here, featuring some of all the great vendors and sponsors that you guys have for the King of the Beach event. So Thursday night is the captain's meeting. That's the big pre-party to the weigh-in and tournament. And Friday night's the family thing, and then Saturday night's the big event. But
absolutely.
I know there's a lot more to it than that. If you want to elaborate.
I mean, all 3 days. The big thing, everybody said, "Oh, it's the captain's party." It's open to the public.
Yes.
And that's one thing that we do want to make sure everybody understands. We also have on Thursday night. We do have live music now.
Oh, nice!
All 3 days.
All 3 days.
All 3 nights live music. That's awesome.
We've got
new this year. We're actually we have set up kind of a little section of games.
Apparently, we want to become carnies more than we already are.
But we have mullet toss.
You always have been, buddy.
I know. You build a tent, people will come.
Yes, but we're doing mullet toss. We brought that back.
Nice.
We're having a cast net competition. We have axe throwing, jumbo.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Are the mullet frozen, or are they going to be thawed out?
They're going to be thawed out, hopefully. We'll see.
That should get interesting by the end of the night.
Oh, yes.
So we do rotate each night. So I mean, we'll have some winners.
Oh no! You got to keep the mullet from Thursday night for Saturday night.
It's a lot harder to throw on Saturday. Trust me. If you can even hold it in your hand.
I'm gonna say all that leftover mush will go to crab traps.
Yeah.
There you go. It will not go to waste.
No, absolutely not.
No. So it's that should be cool. And the cast netting, they're going to be giving away a cast net every night. For the youth, they're going to be cast netting for the ugly ducklings on the ground.
Who's our cast net sponsor?
It is Dropout Cast
Dropout. That's awesome.
So
they're good people.
Cool. They are young guys. Really.
They're taking it over, man.
Yes, they are.
Pushing hard, and
they're making good nets too.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
For the adult side, we got a 10-foot that they're going to be throwing, and the most people that can hit the horn into the bucket. At the end of a 10-foot net, and at the end of the weekend, whoever's in the qualifying can pick out any net they want.
Wow.
So that's a cool thing on the field, and we really appreciate those guys jumping in as hard as they have. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So, you know.
Dang. Cast net, axe throwing, mullet toss.
Some different things.
We have a
like
casting
that.
game too.
Yeah.
Casting game.
Precision casting.
I love those games.
Yeah.
Is it for adults or is it just
Adults.
kids?
Adults and
everybody.
kids.
Oh, so
We
you
have
got
a
the one at the end with the hula hoop and it gets smaller to the cup?
Smaller as it
Yes.
goes, you know.
I love that one.
So mullet toss, we don't have our toys out there this year, so we're gonna have some things that are gonna surprise people a little bit better. So we'll see what happens. Yeah,
Well, it
we
sounds
gotta
like
have
a great
something,
event.
you know.
And we have a cool prize booth too, so the kids can get prizes. There's adult prizes. It'll be fun.
Nice.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, Friday night we've got Kevin from Stick Figures band coming out, Soul Purpose. So
Nice.
we got some big names on the stage for Friday and Saturday during the weigh-in, and following the weigh-in. This so everybody knows too. Fall King of the Beach, we support all our veterans associations, which is different than most of the course of the year. So we also have fireworks
Yes.
for the Veterans Day on Saturday. Hopefully, maybe coincide as we crown the king. We can have the
with
fireworks go
fireworks.
off, just depending on how
Wow.
many fish everybody bring in. But so we'll have fireworks for our veterans as well. So it's we've got the Veterans Boat Parade
Parade
as well
earlier that day.
and
Nice.
I mean, just a lot of stuff going on in Madeira for during that.
It's going to be a busy weekend for Madeira Beach.
It is. We're really looking forward to it, and we appreciate everything you guys got going on, and then always supporting us as you do,
Yeah.
and then we've got our award ceremony on Sunday for all those that take home checks.
Nice.
It's coming home to the pass again, so that's
Yeah.
good to see too.
Right there next door to you.
Yes,
Yeah, well,
yes.
so-
Looking forward to it. Well, that's awesome. Don Schuett, appreciate those super chats on YouTube, brother. So we got King of the Beach. We got Fishing for Hope. It's going to be a busy next couple months here.
Yeah.
It's all fat. We try to push it all into one, between
Yeah.
all of us, we stuff it all in one bag real quick.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it is really cool how the boat is going to be at King of the Beach to
Yeah.
collect donations, and then go to Pro Marine and collect
Yeah.
donations.
And Pro's been doing Sink the Boat for
many
years and
years,
years.
yeah.
We can't thank those guys enough for doing that. And it does make an impact, especially when you can drag it around town.
Yeah.
And everybody gets to see that, so different people get different opportunities. You don't have to just drive to us.
Yeah.
But with the amount of donation sites that we've got that are out there, I think it's a great thing, and it's just a cool event.
Yeah,
It really
for sure.
is.
Well, and then everybody who's not fishing should still come out. We have boat displays. We have, I think, 4 or 5 different manufacturers out on the field with their boats. We have
Wow.
like 70 vendors. There's going to be all kinds
So
of
it's
stuff
like a
to look at.
boat show, outside shopping, flea market, game
Yeah.
show,
Carnival.
carnival.
Yes.
And,
There's,
And we just
and it's
sit
also a
back.
concert venue
Yes.
because there's
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
music every night. So,
Yeah.
and that's the thing people don't realize. Like my wife and I, with the young kids and everything we have going on, we don't fish a tournament, but it's always a blast to come to the events, and especially Friday night with our young kids. We that's kind of the time we always go to King of the Beach. Because the captain's meeting is a good time. It's open to the public,
Yeah.
but it's very focused on the fishing, and
Yeah.
it's also a little bit of a party. So
Yeah.
it's
It
a good
is,
party
it is.
scene.
Yeah.
With my 4 and 6-year-old, that Friday night's a
Yeah.
little bit more chill.
Yeah, a little
right.
chill out.
Yeah,
So
it's definitely, and there's a little bit more elbow room.
a
Yes.
little bit more,
Yes.
it is. So
And then
it's,
Saturday's the big event. I mean,
Yeah.
with the fireworks and the Veterans Boat Parade. I mean, it's going to be an all-day thing.
all day out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's what's cool about it. Like I said, and everything we do is a family event. I mean, really, we've got our youth division that we really promote. Like I said, with the cast netting and the precision casting, there's everything. Like I said, geared up for our youth. Get more of them out there fishing as much as we can. Fall, we don't have our big youth event on the seawall just because of the time changes and everything's a little dark.
Gets a little dark a little early.
Yeah. So it's,
We did it once. It was
yeah.
Didn't work out well.
didn't work out
Well,
well.
you try to put, overhead lighting on side of hills. That they don't,
Dehooking fish
yeah,
with a lot of
dehooking, yeah.
little children in the dark. It's not easy.
Yeah,
sometimes.
700 kids on a 700 kids on a seawall is a little tough, and knock on wood, we've never had anybody get a hook in them, so we're gonna maintain that and keep that for the spring event. But
Smart.
we got plenty of stuff going on out there, and and like I said, we focus for the kids and the entire family.
That's
the,
awesome.
that's the key. And like I said, you're 4 generations old salts now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 3 in my family. And it's great to see that we can keep those families going and keep everybody out there at the same time.
It's been around a while.
It has been a long time. I think the organization's now
55
50,
or 54.
54.
Next year will be 55.
Double nickel next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Coming up on a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jorge Gonzalez and Mudhole Tackle, appreciate the super chat. Super Mud Bug as well, appreciate you guys. So, anything else that we're missing as far as King of the Beach goes?
Well, I mean, we got, and the thing with King of the Beach is everybody has an opportunity to win.
Yeah.
We've got our boundaries set. You can only go 30 miles to the west. We've got a lot of special divisions. We got our Spanish mackerel division.
Single engine.
Single outboard engine division. We got closest to the year date, which is, 2025. We actually, in the spring, first time I've ever seen it ever, we had an entire youth boat win it, but they actually hit it on the money.
I saw that.
I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
2020. It was 2025 on the
20.25 on the money.
Yeah. That's never happened before?
No.
Never
Really?
seen it happen. You can't go over, so it's Price is Right rules.
Oh, wow.
You got to be closest to without going over.
So 2024 might be the winner.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. Got a beautiful trailer from Owens and Sons, and they upgraded it and got put it upgraded that trailer and
Wow.
and got a bigger one. So that was cool. Single outboard engine, like I said. My biggest thing, if you've never fished before in the King, come out. The first thing I tell people is target a Spanish first, because it's over. Typically, our first place winner is over $1,000 a pound.
Wow.
For the winner, and it pays up to how many ever people are into that category. You can fish for it by itself for $110 if you just want to try for Spanish.
Yeah.
And then an add-on for the King is $55. But definitely get in it. Definitely check it out. And that can, if you're somewhat shy of jumping into the entire event, you still have an opportunity to do it. But also land-based. So you can have your.
There's a
crew.
land-based division?
Yeah. Well, not a
It's
division.
overall.
It's
Okay.
they're fishing overall. Everyone still wants to be king,
Yeah,
So
100%.
But that team, they got to stay together. They can't be in different locations.
Yep.
Things like that. There's plenty of rules out there that specifically.
And then this
put
fall,
on that.
we will be giving away the aggregate money too, because we
Yes.
do a spring-fall aggregate. So we've got about 50 people that have weighed fish that are in contention for that right now.
So yeah,
So they have to weigh a fish in spring and then in
And
fall.
then
Yes.
fall.
Yeah, but you will see, especially in both events, you'll see some of the guys that you think are bringing in big fish, all of a sudden, hey, we only got an 18, we got a 20. That's because they're in the aggregate, and that has tipped the scales before.
Yeah.
So, question for you, since we've got the rule experts here. One thing I was thinking about, like tournament fishing, and I think I talked to Steve about this on the radio show before the spring event, is when you gaff a fish, you want to try to stop the bleeding, obviously,
Right.
because
Yes.
more blood in the fish, the heavier it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it illegal to quick clot?
So we know quick clot's fine. We've had people try to brine fish.
Can't
And
brine them?
You
Well,
can't
you can,
stuff
but
it. either.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is that if you brine it and it's frozen, because we have seen it, we know the fish is there,
It's weird.
it's still DQ'd.
Yeah.
Because I know you're not, in the same fish bag. For example, we have a pink, blue runner in it that ended up in the brine too, and you can shatter it with a hammer, but the fish is going to be DQ'd. So you got to be really
And
careful
nothing
with
further.
some of those brines
But as
that
far
are out
as
there.
And some of those
But-
fish bags
Yeah.
can be
Really
really
cold.
insulated.
Yes.
That's it, So
Yeah.
I mean, we
So
do
you
see
wanna
the
brine,
freshest
but
thing. Yeah,
a
we
little
not
bit, but
that
not
much.
overbright.
and we see the freshest fish come in like that. But it's
But no foreign objects,
yeah,
so
no
don't be
foreign
shoving
objects,
things into
no.
it
And
to
I
stop
think
that.
the other rules that we changed too is that we have a lot of fish come in that still have we like to call the jewelry in it. All the rigs are still hanging out of the fish. We won't weigh a fish any longer that's got
Any of that.
any of the hooks still in them. We have a table out front that you need to take it out, because we had a lot of slack when our guys are checking the fish for quality and make sure there's nothing in the fish. We don't want to have
Get a
risk
hook.
for them to get hooked on that. So
Yeah.
that's one of the changes that we've had. We also got the video.
Oh,
That's
yes,
the other
the video
thing. You have to
rule.
video the actual landing of the fish with the angler that's on the rod. As
To prevent the
technology-
lady angler
Lady,
fish
yeah.
from
It
getting
came
weighted.
about as that, but it's also just a good measure all the way.
All the way around.
As far as
don't get rid of the metadata. If we
Yes.
ask for it, it better be there. You know,
Because it will
And,
show
yeah,
location for the
just
most part as well. Too,
you know,
which-
so it's because we are different in that way. So our youth angler.
So you have to video it with location services on.
Yes. We're not going to make that public
We won't-
where
yes.
you're at. It's not like
We're not sharing that.
Not many.
But if you win,
not many
But
dilly holes
if
out
you
there
win,
for
be prepared to
kingfish.
show us video.
Yes.
It's all.
That's it. You know. And then if it's
But yes,
questions.
like he was saying, in our ladies division and in our youth division, we require the lady and the youth to actually catch the fish. Some of the tournaments, one fish covers the whole basis.
yeah.
But I like to catch fish, so I like that I get to catch my own fish.
Same way with the youth anglers.
Same with
We
the
want
youth.
them to compete with one another, and
Yeah.
it makes it more family fun oriented, and and it spreads the wealth, if you will, I guess, too. At that point,
Yeah, there's
Old
prizes, more
Salsa's always
places.
done that, so.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's kind of that neat thing. The single outboard engine is sponsored by Suzuki, obviously. With that, you can. That does qualify. The biggest question that we get asked: does that qualify for if you're in the optional entry fees? Yes, it does. But you can decide if you're in a single outboard engine to weigh in the overall or the
in the
single
single.
outboard. It doesn't qualify. Your fish doesn't qualify for both.
Both.
So at the end of towards the end of the weigh-in, we call it the shuffle occurs because those guys are watching the payouts, they're watching the board to see where they're at. So because whoever weighs first obviously wins the event by tie, by the largest weight. If we have a tied fish that's identical weight, and they also want to see where they want to weigh. So it's a single outboard engine shuffle. So if you see people moving in and out of line, that's why they're doing it. So it makes it interesting, but it's also very calculated, ironically, anymore.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
You never know.
You
No,
never
you
know.
never know. So there's, like I said, there's plenty of ways to win, and we really want everybody to realize that. We've had people in kayaks fish it. We've had sailboats fish the tournament. It's crazy when you really think about it.
Yeah.
One of the things Fish is going to do is every kid that comes to the weigh-in who's fished on the boat, if they come back, they are getting a gift from Fish.
I ran into speaking of kids and fishing from kayaks, I ran into a kid, and he was it was at a Blessed Sacrament fair.
Yeah.
And so he walks up and he's like, "Oh, Hubbard's Marina, I've fished there before. I fish from a kayak a lot." I was like, "Oh, cool," and whips out his phone. So I'm expecting like a snook redfish photo. He whips out his phone and shows me a photo of like a 35-pound kingfish
What?
that he's holding up on his kayak. I was like, "All right, tell me a story. How did
How did
we get here?" And this kid talks about how he has a trailer behind his bike that he trailers his kayak to like at Reddington Indian Shores area and puts in on the beach and then paddles out, catches a mackerel, and then immediately turns around and hooks that up and starts trolling it. I was like, well,
That
shouldn't
is
be telling
awesome.
people that you're trolling mackerel, but I like your style, buddy. And man,
And that's hardcore.
yeah,
That is.
That's guys we
catching
look
big
for.
kingfish.
And they do.
That would be fun.
Right? If you hooked a 30-plus
There's some-
pound kingfish
That would
from
be
a
awesome.
kayak,
There are
That'd be
some
awesome.
spots that are in the Tampa Bay that are, well-known kingfish spots now that were actually found by guys tarpon fishing in kayaks, catching monster kingfish, or they were getting busted off so much that they upped their gear to find out what the heck was going on, and that's how a lot of this stuff way up inside the bay actually got found.
G-cut and all that.
G-cut and all that, yeah. Because once they get in there, apparently we talked to a lot of scientists that their instinct is to continue to go north. And once they're up there and there's such a quality amount of bait,
They
they stay there and they become residential fish, and all they do is just eat and eat and eat. And technically, nobody's targeting them until
King of the beach.
until the kingfish tournaments come around. But it's that was actually founded by a bunch of kayak guys originally. So that's kind of interesting. Like I said, we have had kayaks place. You were talking about trolling plugs. We had a fish come in third place. There was a gentleman, they're dragging baits. He was on the bow of the boat throwing a beat up drone spoon that I'll tell you right now, he kept it in the fish just to show us that he actually caught on it. The thing was so old and rusted, you would have thought for sure the hook would have busted right out of the thing. It's
hilarious.
just you cover ground, you're going to find fish.
Yeah.
It's kind of like inshore. You're going to, you're not just going to keep casting. You're kind of,
You got to stick and move.
Yeah, you
Yep.
stick. That's exactly right.
So definitely have some more conversation on that front. But before we get further along, we do want to go ahead and do our first giveaway of the night. We've got a 5-hour half day, 10-hour all day, and a 39-hour to give away. Let's start with our 5-hour half day fishing trip. Brought to you by our friends at Innovative Pools and Spa. Remember, Innovative Pools and Spa brings 35 years of experience building pools in the Tampa Bay area. They continue the legacy of their father's company, which is recognized as a top pool builder for over 3 decades. Plus, they continue to raise the bar in pool construction, design, and features. They have an unparalleled passion for the industry, so call them today at 727-788-1650 or visit them online at innovativepoolsandspa.net for an estimate and see why Innovative Pools and Spa are the top choice for families in our community. So, 5-hour half day, 1 lucky winner, 2 guests, brought to you by Innovative Pools and Spa. Lucky winner is...
There goes a randomizer.
Always. Don't know how to pronounce that, but JV Pete, it's his name is Pete from Fort Pierce. Always good to read below.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes words help. So Pete from Fort Pierce, Florida, you got 5 minutes or less to text us your full home address to the phone number on the screen, which is 727-393-1946. So there, Josh got it up on the screen. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that. So text the phone number, your full home address within 5 minutes to prove you're watching live. We still got that 10-hour to give away and a 39-hour, but let's talk a little bit more. You mentioned something that Fish was doing, and I kind of cut you off there. What was that?
So Fish is every kid that's on a boat that comes back, and they don't have to even weigh a fish, but if they were out there fishing, they want to give them a gift.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Last spring, they gave tackle boxes. I'm not exactly sure what they're surprising us with. But it's but they always take care of all the kids.
That tackle shop is such a cool tackle shop.
Yes.
Fisherman's Ideal Supply House in Madeira Beach. And they've added so much inventory as far as like shirts and stuff. I saw Tad do a video the other day. I was like, where did all that come from? That's crazy.
Well, since the hurricane, they redid the whole front building, and now the whole front building has apparel.
Really?
And
the whole front building is
The whole front
apparel.
building is apparel. And he actually is working with Grundens, and they are going to outfit our King winners with rain gear.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah,
for everybody on the team.
It
So
just
that's
sweetens
That's
the
crazy.
environment.
Yeah.
Does the King get the ring? They get re-outfitted with Grundens.
Yes,
So
That's a lot of money too.
It is.
Yeah.
A full
full-
high
yep,
quality rain gear suit.
Yep.
Some
for
of
every
those are
member on the boat.
$400, $500, $600.
all day.
Yeah.
And
That's crazy.
It is. That's a great addition.
Yeah,
to
sure.
For that too. But it's but the youth anglers. I mean, that's what the big part is. I mean, really, that's what I get stoked about.
Yeah.
Like I said, especially seeing a whole youth team, fish by themselves and get out there. We call them the Little Madeira Beach Mafia. But
There's a lot of them.
Yes.
there are.
There is a lot
Yes.
of them.
You're right.
And I like the well-behaved ones. They're nice.
That's it. And there's quite a few of that too going around because they know we won't put up with it. So that's a big part.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So on top of all of that, you've got people going out there to try to catch the biggest possible kingfish. And you've got some Highliner teams, but everybody's kind of limited because it's the 30-mile boundary.
Yeah.
You can't go too far north, too far south.
Yeah.
So a big, super fast boat doesn't necessarily net you much. It's more of just getting out there and getting lucky.
That's right.
And using a big bait for a big fish, huh?
I'd rather be lucky than good. I mean,
Amen to that.
We're all kind of doing the same thing out there. But what's kind of funny that you say that is a lot of the bigger boats have more trouble in the King because they forgot the roots of where they started on the beach, and they're used to doing bigger runs. So it's kind of interesting to see the dynamic with that. When you see that, and especially once they get up into the bay, they're totally outside their element, or up in the Skyway area, or that type of stuff. So it's so it's like I said, it's interesting to watch the dynamic with the King of the Beach, and a lot of the bigger teams too. What's interesting is they split up during the King. They're on their own boats. They're taking out their family. So you're seeing those guys that would travel that are the upper echelon, if you will, I guess, of kingfishermen, they split the teams up, and it makes it very interesting during the event. And it
They're
always
fishing
has.
against each other.
They are, yeah, because everybody wants that crown.
Yes, they do.
So it's and like I said, they're taking out their families and everything like that. So it's like I said, it's a cool dynamic, and it's something that it's great to see.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And if you
How many years has King of the Beach been going on?
This is the 32nd year.
32 years.
32 years times 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Before that, it used to be the Kingfish Rodeo, and it was like a month-long event. That was great, way before our time.
Way before.
Yeah, that sounds like a little bit of work.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
A month-long event.
Yeah.
They only had to have they filled. I actually found one of the past presidents passed away, and someone brought me the slips from the original events, and they were just handwritten, and they had a signature for someone to basically say that yes, they caught the fish. They caught a fish, and that's what it weighed. So it was kind of an interesting thing.
That's crazy.
But, yeah.
One of the
Go ahead, jump in.
I'm going to jump in differently. One of the biggest questions we get asked, or at least this last week, I've had 4 phone calls and several emails on it, is everyone wants to know. So at midnight, we don't let you fish anymore. From midnight to 6 until, lines in the waters at 6, is there's no fishing. And everyone wants to know how they can get bait. So the only thing we allow is cast nets. So that's one of the things they all ask. Can we cast net?
You can cast net to your heart's content.
That's right. But just no lines at all. And we're pretty strict about that because...
And that's inshore or offshore.
Yep.
Okay.
You can't be at the bridges. Just like you talked about. I mean, NJP,
You can be at the bridges.
You
cast
can be
net.
throwing a cast
Throw a
net.
cast
You can't
net,
be speaking.
but no hook and line.
No hook and line.
We want to take that out of the play. We just don't want anybody starting early.
Because there are plenty of Spanish mackerel and plenty of kingfish that are caught inside the pass. I talked to Dave Zaleski the other day. He had 12 Spanish mackerel before he got to the actual, safe water marker. So, I mean, that's a lot of Spanish, and in that one little area.
I've seen some big Spanish caught inside the bridge.
Yep.
He actually starts dragging it on the inside.
At Don's Dock.
Yes, I mean,
very familiar.
Baits are in the water.
Don's Dock holds a lot of fish right there.
That whole
A lot of sharks,
plenty of
too.
structure in there. Yeah, you got to beat the sharks out, but there's plenty of structure in it. It's holding fish because the bait are there, and with the dredges too. I think that's going to be a little switch up too with that being out there. I mean, that's been holding a lot of bait and changing that dynamic for everybody too a little bit.
Some bathymetry changes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. All right, let's see what questions do we have. Do we have any Old Salt King of the Beach questions rolling in, Josh? I noticed King of the Beach that you X-ray entries. Have you ever had anybody adding weights or objects to make fish heavier?
No, we have not.
No.
That's
Not
that's
that
one-
he would admit.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Okay.
Well, they all
And-
get tagged and then they get processed
Yeah.
afterwards. So
they're
afterwards,
actually got
the
it
fish
on
house
site.
would tell us if they're finding leads or anything in
Yeah.
it.
So what happens is, because we do ban every fish that's going to be weighed with the boat numbers on it, and then also the anglers are marked, so we know who they are as well that are weighing fish. So if someone tries to get in that hasn't been checked in, then they don't have the band on their arm and their fish aren't marked. So when they do go to get processed and they've got it on site, obviously we can check it then and before we do our final count too for the award ceremony. Now the awards on Sunday, so if something doesn't jive,
We have
Then-
we have not awarded any money.
Fish are processed on site. They're
Yes.
X-rayed on site. Then it has the next day, and then winners are subjected to
Lie detector
potential
tests.
of polygraph
Yep.
too.
no, we give.
Five.
We
do
give 5. There's 3
always.
mandatory and 2 secret winners.
Okay.
That way it
Yeah.
keeps everybody honest. They don't know who it is. So I mean,
So that's
obviously our
the
first
polygraphs
prize-
happen no matter what. It's not if
Yeah, it's
someone
not.
comes up.
Yeah, so we
matter
have
what.
every Sunday afterwards. The first place winners, the first overall, first single engine, and the first Spanish are automatically going, and then we have 2 random spots that we pick as well. So it kind of
You
just
too
keeps.
can be the winner
That's right.
of a
Of a
polygraph.
polygraph.
Polygraph test.
Don't have your wives call us because we can't add anything to the test. So everybody knows. They write the questions and they run that themselves.
And
So
I will
it's,
tell you so far we have not had anyone fail.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
So, yeah,
So-
that's it. like I said, keeping everybody honest, and with technology, we want to make sure too that continues the way it is, because technology is changing the game that we're all playing.
Amen. Here's a good question. What bait, lure, or technique are people having the best luck catching the mackerel? I can't seem to get them to look at a spoon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Spanish or kingfish? I mean,
Spanish is what he's saying.
Spanish, I mean, your smaller baits and your threadfin, your greenbacks, things of that nature seem to be
live
the best.
bait.
Live baits, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Live baits.
I mean, I know, spoon size makes a difference too.
Yeah.
And depending on, it's...
For me, spoons are a little tricky, because when you start retrieving them as fast as a mackerel, like I'm assuming we're talking about shore-based fishing, it seems. So if you cast a spoon out there and you start reeling it really fast, like a mackerel likes it, it'll come up out of the water. One of the coolest things I saw was a guy was catching a ton of a ton of mackerel with a spoon, and what he was doing is he had a lead weight, like almost like a trolling weight, and then 15, 20 feet, and then he had a spoon. So what he would do is he'd set the weight and the spoon together on the ground and almost coil it up, and then he'd cast the weight, and then all of a sudden he'd grab the spoon and take it all with him. It was very scary looking cast. But once he got this thing out there, man, he'd let it sink, and then you could retrieve it really fast, and that weight would keep the spoon down. To me, personally, I like keeping it easy and simple. A gotcha plug is my favorite.
Yeah, that's just saying. Gotcha plug.
Gotcha plugs are the bomb when it comes to mackerel shore-based fishing. The problem is now you can't. We are struggling to find gotcha plugs. It seems like they're just manufacturing.
There has been a shortage. I don't know what's causing that.
But Big Rock Sports, which was one of the biggest tackle suppliers in the industry, went defunct. They claimed Chapter 11, and they've been selling off their inventory. And I'm thinking they were always the biggest distributors. I'm thinking maybe they owned it or had rights to it. I don't know, but someone needs to figure that one out, because those gotcha plugs can't go away.
Yeah, if they don't, someone's going to pick it up.
Yeah, someone's got to knock that one off.
That's definitely a go-to in the tackle box for sure, especially for the Spanish. And it's a retrieval too, like you were saying. You want to make sure that too, wherever you're at, that one, you have bait around you, and two, that you change up the retrieval speed a little bit, speed it up, slow it down, see what's going to work that day too with that.
Same with trolling.
Anything. Yeah,
same with trolling. When you're trolling for King of the Beach, is you're going a little faster, then you slow it down, find that speed that they bite.
You got guys bump trolling, or stopping and going type stuff. You got guys free drifting. We also have several people that I know, drag sea anchors to slow them down for those baits too. Now we got guys running kites. That wasn't a thing out here, for a long time. But you got guys out there with kite baits.
Yeah.
It's different presentation, different people, and the big thing is
running a kite bait in King of the Beach would be a dangerous game.
There's
too many boats out there for kite fishing.
We had a sport fish on the hook in just off the Whistler on the hard bottom. A lot of guys trolling around them with a kite up, and won the event. And let's say there was a lot of people unhappy because it messed up the trolling pattern quite a bit.
I would believe it.
It makes it interesting, like I said, and just the biggest thing is go what you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the see what everybody's doing around you. It's a tight knit. There's certain areas that everybody it's a parking lot. There's a lot of parking lots on King of the Beach, and you'll notice. They're all parking lots. So
especially
you'll see what they're see what they're doing, and that's a small parking lot. As far as that's
especially
concerned.
when the wind's blowing, it gets even more like a parking lot.
You ain't kidding.
But this Saturday for this King of the Beach, man, it's looking nice.
Yeah.
And we're stoked about that. Then we start setting up. We were on the field today already, so the setups all week. We've got decent weather for that too. So it's we're happy to see what we're looking at here for Thursday through Saturday, and it's
lining up right.
It is, it really is.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right, let's do our 10-hour giveaway here, and then we'll cover a few more questions and wrap things up and do our 39-hour giveaway. So 10-hour all day. One lucky winner, 2 guests. This is brought to you by our friends over at the Friendly Fisherman Seafood Restaurant. The Friendly Fisherman at Johns Pass is back under the management of the Hubbard family. The same family serving up the best fishing and dining experiences in Madeira Beach for nearly a century. Come rediscover the Friendly Fisherman and taste the difference with the freshest seafood, improved menus, and the service you've come to expect from the Hubbard family. Enjoy unbeatable waterfront views, welcoming atmosphere, and flavors straight from the Gulf. Locals and visitors, come see what's new at the Friendly Fisherman today. I can tell you they are running a special Parmesan salmon Florentine this month in the Friendly Fisherman, and they may or may not have brought some of it over today for the staff at Hubbard's, and I can confirm it is spectacular.
Who better out on than
yes,
family?
I mean we had to try it out and make sure it wasn't subpar or anything.
Yeah, and we were just talking about, I mean, the downstairs. That people don't even realize, even locals don't realize that the downstairs is open.
And they do a locals club.
Yeah.
So if you show up and you show your ID, they give you a locals club card at the Friendly Fisherman in the downstairs bar area. And even upstairs, the locals club applies as well. But that downstairs bar is such a cool local hangout.
It is, and it's hidden. And I don't, it's weird that...
That's why the crew likes it.
That's it, yeah.
If you want to come hang out with Smokey or one of the guys, and it's a rough weather day like tomorrow, that's probably where they're going to be. You'll find them. If we cancel because it's blowing 25 out of the north, that's where the crew is. At 10 a.m.
Well, we're having our award ceremony there too for the King of the Beach as well.
That's awesome.
So, yeah,
it's going to be a good time. That's for sure. No, the Pass is a great place, and people freak out about parking, but the thing. Oh. Yes, we got to do the giveaway. Did we get sidetracked, Josh? All right. Josh is waving at us. So let's do the 10-hour giveaway. Brought to you by the Friendly Fisherman. Lucky winner is... John Boyer. Congrats from Dade City. Dade City in the house. You got 5 minutes or less to text us your full home address, John, and claim that free fishing trip. It was a 10-hour all day. Let's see here. Pete Miller, appreciate those stars on Facebook. Tyler Maloof, Richard Harcourt as well, and Stephen Batchelor, appreciate those stars on Facebook, y'all. So we've got award ceremonies Sunday. Going back to the actual tournament, if you wanted to try to catch the biggest possible kingfish, what would you be doing, Tommy?
What would I be doing? I mean, I've always been a beach guy.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Find the bait. I like to run. I like to drag ladyfish. That's one of my favorites, especially if I'm on the beach.
How big of a ladyfish?
I don't know. I mean,
bigger
my rigs change as the
There's
bait
Amy's
changes,
answer. Bigger the better.
I've always my thing was always like, if I can get the biggest flashy, at least one big flashy bait out, regardless, and kind of switch it up. The thing is, you got to watch your trolling speed with that, and make sure that one bait's not overcoming and overpowering the other ones, because then you get that old, balled up mess out there, and then you're re-rigging, and then you're wasting time. And the other thing, that's my other thing is baits in the water. A lot of the guys like to, I'm kind of a guy like, okay, this is the plan. We're going to kind of work the plan. I'm not the guy that's running around for radio fish. Because my thing is, the longer the baits are in the water, the better off you have to catch fish, obviously.
Radio fish or
radio
Facebook Live
fish.
fish.
Yeah, okay, now Facebook Live too.
Yeah. I got one in the bag.
And then all of a sudden you see 10 boats pick up and take off. That's... especially during the majors and the minors. I mean, that's something that you never. That personally, I'm never moving. You know, I might live or die by there, but I'm definitely not going to make a big move during that time frame if I believe that there's fish.
Don't leave fish to find fish.
You know,
that's a golden rule for sure.
Yes.
You know, and you know that old Reddington Pier bottom up there used to always be, you know,
that's where I grew up fishing from.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and
I've caught some big fish right there.
Plenty of fish right in that area.
Those mitigation sites, trolling out of Johns Pass, down the mitigation sites to that.
Even with the Reddington Long Pier gone, it still holds fish on that there.
You know, I've seen some guys actually. I saw Randy Keys and Jimmy Hassan back in the day a mid-40s fish, and they were just about inside the swim buoys when they actually landed the fish.
Wow!
And it was when I saw it go over the side, it was it was beautiful, and I mean, ended up actually taking the event, but. And it wasn't the king of the beach, unfortunately for those guys, but it was a huge fish, and like I said, it was they were just about inside the swim buoys.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was
Clearwater, hard bottom,
bottom.
Egmont, Anchorage, inside the bay.
I mean,
off of Anna Maria, that mitigation.
Anna Maria, the swash there. You know, right now, with the fronts we've had, I mean, there's still some tarpon around, so that point in particular, Anna Maria right there, you can cross over with some tarpon while you're king fishing.
That's always fun.
Yeah,
with
20-pound tackle and lighter gear. It's always a blast. Like I said, you don't want to burn your time either messing with them. Yeah, But that Anna Maria swash area is also prime time.
Yep.
I mean, you're going to see a lot of fish there. And like I said, with the wind in the beginning of the week too, a little bit heavier there. We're going to see, I think, clean it up. We'll have some baits up close, and I think that's going to be the key.
So you'd be fishing the beach.
I would personally
trolling a big live ladyfish. Would you be bump trolling? Would you be sea anchoring?
So I'm
a drifter.
I drift and I bump troll. Just personally myself.
Just enough to keep the lines.
Keep the baits straight.
Yeah.
And and stagger the baits. And like I said, if you can mix them up, and keep those. I try to keep some of the more powerful baits. If you get a blue runner or something, closer to the boat, because I can maintain them better. So where he's not taking over. And if I'm going to run smaller baits, I'll do them much further back. But like I said, everybody's got a different system. And I've noticed that over the years, depending on who you're fishing with, where you're fishing. And my biggest thing, too, is everybody on the boat has a team, and everybody's got a job, but I rotate. And a lot of guys don't do that. Because I want, my thing is, I want everybody to have a shot at a fish. And if I have, a youth and a lady, I'm not the guy to say, if the rod goes off, I'd rather have one of those. Just for me and personally, I'd rather see a woman or one of my youth anglers land the fish, regardless of how big or how size wise.
Yeah.
What I think it is, let them have the first fish. That's just to me. That's just as exciting to me as dragging it up myself. I mean, that type of thing is actually
watching
more exciting. Someone else catch it.
Yep.
So it's like I said, you're going to see a lot of people out there. Check out what they're doing. Talk to people. We got a lot of guys coming from out of town. All your tackle shops, they're a wealth of information.
Yeah.
I mean, and utilize that information.
Yeah.
We got a lot of guys here too that do share information. Like I said, I don't know if there's a couple, if we want to call them dilly rocks, hidden spot. Kingfishing to me isn't that game.
No.
It's
a pelagic fish.
Yeah, especially with the king. The sucker's moving and he's trying to eat.
Yeah.
So it's utilize that and utilize the guys that are around you. Talk to people, even while you're out there. If you're new, they will give you information.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat here because I did a lot of traveling, kingfishing, and there's areas that are tight knit that are going to lock you down. They're not going to give you as much information. Here, our guys will talk with you. We've got a lot of guys because of the storms and stuff that we went down to. The people that have their docks up, because we do have a lot of docks missing. That a lot of our guys that are coming in from out of town are teaming up and shacking up at people's houses, and that's very cool to see.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Is that everybody plays nice, as much as we can.
Another question from a viewer is, should you bleed Spanish mackerel when you catch them? For the tournament, no.
No, the event.
That's the opposite. We were talking about using quick clot on fish that we had to gaff, but for non-tournament fish, bleeding them is always a good idea, especially Spanish and kingfish. They definitely change the quality of the meat a lot.
Absolutely, and we see a lot of that too. The guys that bring them in, they're keeping them. A lot of them they do smoke, so they're bleeding them out. And ironically, the following weekend after the King of the Beach, or that following week on Thursday, we have our
fish spread competition,
which is out of control, starting to become out of control. But
in a great way.
In a great way, yes. So you can come out. We're at CJ's now. That's nice. We moved the meetings to CJ's over behind Tyrone.
That's where the fish spread tournament will be.
Yep.
The fish spread tournament will be there.
So a little Euro appetizer, fish spread dessert. I like it.
That's it. You come in and check that out and participate. We have an overall judges award, and then we also have people choice. So anybody that can come can participate in that. You can bring it in, and that's a cool event.
It's open to the public.
Open to the public, yes.
What about eating the fish bread? Is that
everybody?
Open to the public?
Open to the public. We don't have.
I'll be there.
Yeah, so you can try. If
you'd
like to be a judge, you can do so.
I definitely have to check my calendar, but I'm down for that.
So
we'll clear it.
Yes.
Yeah, have a clear schedule for that. And it's when you're tasting 50 or 60 different fish breads, it gets a little tough.
You talked me into it. You already convinced me. You don't have to continue to twist my arm, Tommy. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so that's a cool one. Like I said, you hear it, like every area's got something, and like I said, that's why we kind of did the fish bread thing, because it seems like we got husbands and wife that compete every year against one another, and it's hilarious, man.
That's hilarious.
Split the family up,
Yeah. So here's a good question. Does a youth or lady angler fish count towards the overall?
So, you want to answer that?
No, it does not. So on our teams, overall has a fish, and then lady has a fish, and youth has a fish. So they're all separate fish.
But if a lady angler catches a 50-pound fish, she could choose to weigh that fish in the overall.
100%.
Absolutely.
So
I would love a queen of the
and
beach.
we've had a queen of the beach.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while, but yes.
Wasn't that Steve Pappin's nickname?
That's funny.
I thought
Love
it was
you, buddy.
Golf Pap.
Yeah.
Well, he won and then he was on a win streak after he finally won.
Yes.
Their team is awesome. Good guys.
Yes, he is. Yeah. Amy and Steve share the same birthday, so they're connected already.
That's awesome. So definitely, lady angler and youth fish could technically be overall fish.
They could.
But they have to be either
But you
or.
choose
like
where you're weighing them.
Like the single engine division.
outboard. Yes.
Yeah. So
And
you have to pick
basically,
and choose.
I say once you get to me, I'm sending everybody up on the stage. We do rotate out, but that's your last blast. Like that's where you have to make the final decision on where you're going to weigh before you get up to Dan Casey on the scales.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan's the tournament scale guy
He
still.
is always, yes. Unless their team's weighing their fish, and then there's a third party that comes in. Because they do fish the tournament.
Yeah.
So it's, we have several of our members are able to get out and fish on Saturday because they put the time they put in all week. They bang out, and then they come back and put their volunteer time back in.
I always am impressed by Dan because I see him pre-fishing the tournament all week.
Yes.
Early in the morning, he goes out,
early,
and then he comes back. He helps at the field, and then he goes back out in the afternoon and comes back.
And then he goes checks on his restaurants in St. Pete Beach, and
then,
then his cycle comes over.
Man is a hard worker.
He started today, and ironically, a lot of times, like today, Dan went out by himself.
Oh, he does all the time. I see him charging out there. And same with Jim Nassett. I see Nassett cruise by all the time by himself on that big old boat.
One thing I want to tell you.
That front runner is hard to miss.
It is,
Not kidding. The other thing is, I heard some guys last year and some guys this year talking about pre-fishing. Don't stick to fish.
That was something interesting Steve Pappin was teaching me, along with his secret rigs. I finally, after years of friendship, got him to admit, but sworn to secrecy, and I won't betray his trust. But it was interesting to me his definition of pre-fishing. To me, I thought pre-fishing was fishing. Like you stick baits out there and you find out where the fish are, but just running around.
You're running around. You're looking for
looking at the water.
You see, you're checking checking out different colors of water.
That sounds like
water
fun.
temperature.
Yes.
The weather's nice.
You know,
You're just cruising down the beach
you
at
know.
55, 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, but anymore. Yeah, you
Yeah,
know. And
that
it's,
sounds awesome.
You know, Ross and any of your water temperature is a huge thing for Cakefish too as well. You know, I mean, then Ross used to be a big sponsor of ours. They're still out there doing it. There's several other services, but check those water temps. You know, everybody used to say the magic number was 72 in blue. But I mean, you're looking for those color changes and water changes. I mean, that's where you're gonna find those concentration of bait and concentration of fish.
Yeah,
You know?
he was even taking into account. It was really interesting because they were planning to fish a beach, so he was talking about the tide the night before the tournament and where he thought dirty water would move, and the bait and how the tide is going to influence the bait overnight, and how where the moon's going to be at. It was a very scientific approach to so pre-fishing isn't necessarily fishing. It's more of just surveying. It's like surveying the area and trying to put all the variables together to make an informed decision.
And we're lucky that we've got some consistent weather coming, so that variable sometimes changes when we get that quick hit on a Thursday. And all that pre-fishing, you gotta really kind of juggle things around and recalculate what's been going on all week. You know.
Whereas this week we've got a pretty decent cold front Monday. Tomorrow that cold front's going to come through. Then we're going to have that east wind Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it calms down, and it's really going to be nice the second half of the work week, all the way through the tournament.
Clean the beach up quite a bit too. And like I said, that when we get that stable weather for those couple of days, that's when that pre-fishing really helps out. You know, be able to run around. And like I said, people will talk about it. You're going to see it. Not only that, any of your social media outlets, you're going to see it already as of this.
Yeah.
You know, those guys pre-fishing, because some guys will put the baits in the water. Plus, we got a lot of our charter guys right now running for fish, and you're going to see.
So you're looking for bait. You're looking for birds. That's what you're doing.
That's your key. Yeah, and like you said, with the tides coming on the backside of the moon, you know, we're going to have some decent tides where, like you said, where it's dumping out, where the water may be dirtier. Dumping out of the bay may be a little different too. And that does change it up. I mean, it makes it hard for those fish to see the bait. You got huge eyes in there, and they're going to hit hard. I mean, but you know, it's fun. I mean, it really is. And I think we look forward to it every year. There's much work that goes into it, and it's always fun to see. And it's always great to crown the king, because there's always an amazing story behind it somehow, some way. You know, last year's winner or the spring's winner, husband and wife team by themselves, fished for years. You know, they've been in the top 10 before, but took the whole thing, and it's that's cool to see.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like they have a huge team out there.
What's one of your favorite stories from past tournaments? Just pick a random one. Not your most favorite.
I bet you I can
my most favorite. I mean, I've got two, but right before I was actually president of Old Sauce, which that would put it a ways back. But we had I actually fished that event. I was fishing by the Skyway that year because the weather was a little snotty. But I had two young men in a 16-foot Boston Whaler come by me. The guy's holding on the rope attached to the bow of the boat. And he comes up to us right before we were getting out there. He's like, "Did you guys get bait? You find bait?" I'm like, "We got bait 3-4 days ago, man. Like, we knew the blow was coming." And we sent him up into one of the marinas there. Told him the best bet was to go try to get some mullet real quick, come out. Fishing, doing the same thing. We see the boat. They take off, and we know they're hooked up, and we're like, they got a big shark, because they're drugged. They got to be a mile away from us. They come in, borrowed the money from their parents, roll up. Boston Smoker was the name of the boat, and they won the whole thing.
What?
Yes.
I kid you not.
There's two young kids and a small Boston Whaler.
Their parents had to come.
They're the youngest. One at 17.
Because their parents had to come to the event because of the amount of cash that they were receiving, and that was back in the day when it was only a $10,000 first prize. But their parents were there, and it was
crazy.
an amazing.
So they didn't even have bait on the boat. You had to go tell
at
them
all.
where to catch
And like
bait.
I said, we watched. I'm like, they have to have a shark. I've never seen to drag off that far away, and that was amazing.
The weather was horrible.
And
too.
it was horrible weather.
That's awesome.
That was.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Applefield was another really good one when him and his wife won up in the bay.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were extremely emotional, and they had some other stuff going on, but it It was perfect. I turned around, though, to crown him the king, and they were missing. And, we've got the backdrop up, and they were behind the backdrop, and they actually, both of them took a knee, and it was an emotional time, which was good. And that's what it's about. I mean, a lot of the locals, a lot of guys that travel, they come here and they fish for a long time, and like I said, there's generations of fishermen.
Yeah.
That really put that together, and then we see a lot of them on the boats. And then it's even cooler when you see father and son split up. Mm-hmm. And it's they're running against one another, and it's they may work together, but they're still running for the crown.
Yep.
So that's cool to see too. You have a different one?
No, actually, that was exactly that was my.
I mean,
is your daughter coming up for this event?
I hope
we're
so.
trying
We're
to get
trying.
her.
She's
All
become busy.
right.
She's only missed one.
I was about to say it's not the same with our Zoe.
She's been on the field during her proms,
Yeah.
during home. It's always homecoming right about now, and then the spring's prom.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
awesome.
how she's coming out every time dressed for those events. And she lives in Lauderdale now. She just got done with the boat show.
So,
nice.
So she was down there with a big part of that. So she's trying to get her up here, and I know she put in the time last week, this week, so hopefully she'll be here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, we appreciate you guys coming and joining.
fun.
Anything else
Yeah.
you want to throw in before we wrap it up?
No, I think, like I said, it's go time for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's love to have everybody out. Like I said, it's open to everybody. Like I said, and it's big family time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're looking forward to.
We appreciate you guys being a part of Fishing for Hope again and
Absolutely.
making this event. We want to try to sink the boat at this event with all the food that you're donating. So show up and bring some canned goods or dried goods to donate to Fishing for Hope, or scan the QR codes at the event and donate, and Old Salts will bring the food to the event. It's going to be a good time.
And when we bring it out too, when we bring all the food out, obviously everybody's weighed.
Mm-hmm.
So we will put everything that comes from the event. Anybody that
We'll
brings
put a
it
big-
out there, we'll put a big piece out locally, obviously, to show everybody's participation. And if you can come out to Tampa and go see it, I strongly urge people to do that. Really.
Yeah, that's
Make the
November
run.
22nd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the Tampa event. But King of the Beach is going to be collecting donations. Then the donation spot will move to Pro Marina
Right.
Bay Pines from basically the end of this upcoming weekend all the way through November 21st. So if you can't make it to King of the Beach, you can make it to Pro Marine. If you can't make it to either of those, come join us in Tampa on the 22nd.
Look for the blue barrels.
Look for the blue barrels in the
Right.
boat. Can't miss it. Definitely looking forward to it. So, last things that we got to do is give away our 39-hour fishing trip for one lucky winner. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed tonight's show talking about this special event and our super special food drive that we're really focused on making a huge turnout this year. So, help us out with pushing the Fishing for Hope event. We will drop the event in our social media channels. Old Salts is a co-host to that social media event. So I'm sure once King of the Beach gets behind them, they'll have a little bit more time to focus on that kind of thing.
And
But
it's something easy everybody can do.
That's
Get
right.
behind it. It doesn't take much.
share the event. That's all we
it.
need to help push that food donation. All right, Josh, what time is the supporters after show, buddy? 9 o'clock? 8:55. Our last giveaway of the night, our 39-hour trip, is brought to you by our friends at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Remember, at Hubbard's Marina, we've been fishing the Gulf waters for nearly a century, and we know tough gear when we see it. That's why we're proud to partner once again with Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Their saltwater tackle equipment takes the same daily abuse we put them through on our boats, in our seafood market, and out on the water, and they keep delivering. From the Seafire reels that stand up to constant rental abuse to the hooks and fluorocarbon that we trust on all our trips, their products perform when it counts. Even in our seafood market, their Cabela's vacuum sealer holds up to daily commercial use. When you fish with us, you're fishing with the same gear that we rely on every day. Tested, trusted, and proven by generations of fishermen. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's in Hubbard's Marina, where gear meets great fishing. So check them out. Thank you to Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's for joining the team. And let's see who won a 39-hour fishing trip for one lucky winner. Lucky winner is Ford Rich, 2970 from Orlando. I like the YouTube name, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm solid. I'm behind that. So check it out. You got 5 minutes or less for the Rich 2970 to text us your full home address and claim that free 39-hour adventure. Hopefully we'll see you all next week for another episode every Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. Looking forward to talking hogfish next week and diving into all things hogfish. And, of course, reminding you about fishing for hope again.
That's it.
And hopefully talking about some really big kingfish that were caught next weekend
go.
on Saturday.
Absolutely. And we thank you for having us as always.
Always.
And being a huge part of it and donating what you do to the organization forever and ever and ever.
Appreciate being a part of it and appreciate what all you guys do. Y'all have a good night, tight lines, and don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing,
You're just too busy.
just too damn busy. See you guys.